Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Retro Slice Gaming Commodore 64 podcast. We have on here with us Retroider and Gary Gill.
Hello.
Gaming. How are you both?
Oh. Not bad,
Good,
not
thank
bad.
you.
Good. Okay, so without further ado, I knew that was coming. Just to say, people, Ryder found sound effects in the Discord soundboard, so just in case you wonder what any strange noises are, it's a new sound effects. Okay, so
Yes, I will handle that. So that's my first time. So don't
you're the official.
don't mind if we just experiment.
Okay, so just to touch base on C64 month, for anybody that doesn't know who we are or what we're doing, we're a community on Discord. We also have an Instagram presence, Retro Slice Gaming. You can find us on Discord, Instagram, and YouTube. This month, we wanted to focus on a true legend of a computer, which is the Commodore 64. So we had content going out there on Instagram and Discord. We had podcasts, which we're doing now. That's this. We've done a quiz. We've done some gaming challenges, and we also done the best voted games for the C64 by the community. However, we did start with content. Now, for me, we'll touch base with everybody here. I grew up with the Commodore 64. It was my first computer, aged 8 in 1990. And I, at the moment, have a C64C, which unfortunately isn't my original. And I do have the Maxi as well. So I just wanted to highlight them for anybody that's seeing the actual finished podcast. That's my Maxi there in all its glory. And what can we say? What a fantastic job they done with the C64 Maxi retro games. I'm sure you two would both agree with that one.
Yes. Yeah, totally. Great machine for it, play. Never thought we would have a new Commodore 64, 30 years later.
Yeah, exactly. And one that I never owned, because I never had, I was tempted to say a word then, but it'll ruin the quiz. I never had a Mark 1. I never had the original. I never actually even seen an original until quite a bit after I had mine. So it must have been sort of mid to late 90s. I was checking out this marvelous new thing called the internet and looked at this and thought, Commodore 64? That's not a Commodore 64. What's this? Oh, there it was. And obviously it was the original. So it's nice to have that. I mean, it's such easy access. It really did bring it into the modern age. But what surprised me is I heard that the actual C64 Mini vastly outsold the Maxi in numbers. So I think maybe obviously you're more casual gamer, you're more people who jumped back into the C64 after, like you said, Gary, all those years, probably went for the Mini. And then your more dedicated hardcore C64 fans like ourselves went for the Maxi. And what about you, Ryder? What do you think? Have you ever used either of them? You've never used any original C64 hardware, have you?
No, I was just wondering what's the difference from the Mini and Maxi, actually.
Okay, yeah, fair point for anybody who doesn't know. So the C64 Mini was the first one that Retro Games introduced C64-wise. And it is basically, I don't want to sound harsh here. It's basically a Raspberry Pi inside a Commodore 64 case, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it brought it back to the modern age. You can, I believe the original had 64 games still, the original Mini. I'm sure Gary will correct me if I'm wrong. It had the 64 original games. You can put games on USB through loading it that way. But the Mini, much, much reduced form factor. It is literally, it's very small. And it doesn't have a working keyboard. So the keyboard is purely for aesthetic purposes.
So the Maxi would be like a replica, and the Mini is just like a really smaller.
Yeah. The Maxi is pretty much full size. It is full size replica of the Commodore 64.
Oh, okay.
It works in the same way as the Mini. It has that front end system. You can also boot into an original screen that would load like the Commodore 64 did.
Oh, great.
It has a full-size working keyboard, though, and boy, did they go out on it, The clicking sounds on it are even there. They really did try to replicate it the best way they could.
And what about the price difference?
I don't think it's that much, to be honest. I mean, when they first come out, I think the C64 Mini was about £50 or £60 when it first come out. They're much cheaper now. You can probably get one for like £29, £30, the Mini. But the C64 Maxi was probably about 120 or 130 to memory. I think I got it for 120. So to me,
130.
was it 130 you paid, Gary? Yeah.
Yeah, I paid 130 for mine.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. To
Then
me,
it-
that wasn't too excessive for what it was. I didn't think.
But it just doubled the price, or more than double.
It is, and this is what I'm saying. I think
No.
you know the people
because
that
I
went
would say, yeah, I was gonna say, you know, the Max, probably the Mini actually sold better because it's more like a collectible, right? Anything that's smaller, it's more, you know, people are willing to buy it, are towards to buy for to collect, right? But the price as well is much cheaper, so I think that explains itself, you know.
And I think, as I say,
And it's
you are
straight to the
appealing
point
to
as
two
well, right?
groups.
It's really straightforward, like just said, you know. It's like just a front end for games, right?
Yeah, well, it comes with the included ones,
Yeah,
and you can put, you know, whatever game you can find, you can put on there, right? Let's not go into that subject, but you know, you can.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't know. I think it was the two groups really. You had your more casual gamer who's just like, oh wow, C64 Mini. I haven't played a C64 since I was 9. Got to get that, you know. And a lot of people would have done that.
yeah.
A lot of people would have done that. And then when the Maxi come out, you know, maybe a lot of people thought, well, I've already got the Mini.
It's
Do you know what I mean? If they'd brought the Maxi out
Yeah.
first, maybe reduced the price a little bit, I'm sure it would have done a lot better. But I think you've got your casual gamers for the Mini, maybe some for the Maxi, but more your hardcore C64 fans are you know, probably who are still using original hardware for, I've got to get the Maxi.
Yeah, I would say probably the main reason would be price, right? Because that's what usually everything in the world, you know, it explains why, you know, something sells better than others, you know. Usually the price, right?
True. And
Well, that makes sense.
to touch a last part there on the Maxi before we move on, why I went for it is because I do remember certain games when I was younger. Type F on the keyboard. Press this on the keyboard. Now, okay, you can bring up a virtual style keyboard on the Mini, but it's a bit of a faff, yeah? And you can't really easily view all the buttons. You can plug in an extra USB keyboard. If you get a little USB adapter, that could be done. But to me, I wanted it all in one. I don't want to be linking in other keyboards to it if I don't have to, or pressing buttons to get a keyboard. I just want the keyboard. So that's why I went for the Maxi, or one of the reasons.
Nice.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is a computer, not a console, isn't it? So
exactly. Again,
you can see why a lot of people held back for the Maxi. I did buy the Mini at the time because I seen it in the shop. My God, it's a Commodore 64. By this time, I haven't played Commodore 64 for years. So as soon as I seen a Mini, I bought that. Then I bought the Maxi.
So I bet
then
that
the
was quite an
C64C came in.
I bet you that was quite an experience anyway. You just like after how many years walking into a shop and seeing a Commodore 64 there, or seeing in some form, you know, it was like a new Commodore.
Yeah, I didn't know nothing about it, be honest with you. Like at the time, I bought the Atari 2600 Mini as well, same day. I do both there. I thought, my wife said we can't buy the one without the other. Am I thinking, well, the Commodore 64 comes first for me, but no, I had that both from then.
Yeah, there was a few of them, like a Mini. I mean, obviously, I'm thinking straight away of the first one they've done now, you know, properly after, shall we say, Atari sorted their head out. But they did do quite a few, didn't they, leading up to that they actually, you know, took the branding out on. There was the flashback model seems to be very, very cheap. I was actually thinking of picking one of them up the other day and putting it in chucking it up in the attic, but I need to stop doing that.
I did have, I was going to say, I did have like a plug-in joystick, Atari joystick.
Yeah.
And that was a few years before this, the one I got now, but that was just not working tidy at all. Like, it was screen flicker and all that. And
oh, really?
It didn't work out very well. Like, but yeah, the Mini Ataris, I highly recommend it, I reckon, because they are good machines.
Yeah, and for anybody who is listening, before we drift way into like Atari, I do recommend the 2600 Plus. It is an amazing new bit of kit. They really did the original console justice. If you like Atari, and you like the 2600, you need a 2600 plus in your life. Okay, so moving on, we've got my original C64C. So as I say, this was, to me, the first Commodore 64 I ever owned. And I got it the 1990 Christmas World Cup pack. Now, for anybody that knows, I'm not really a football fan or a games esports fan, but I didn't care. I tore off that wrapping paper, seeing that it said Commodore 64. It could have been Barbie for all I cared, you know. I had a Commodore 64. Yeah. So that was that. And I got some extra games with it on day one that my parents got me. So I was absolutely made up within, I would say minutes, but within 10 to 15 minutes, I had the game loaded on the tape deck. Deliberately didn't say its original name there. So yeah, there is my Commodore C64C, and it's not my original, as I say. But one thing I wanted to touch on as well, briefly, is how many people actually loaded from cassettes. I think it was the majority of people in the UK back then. I mean, I don't remember hardly anybody having a disk drive for a Commodore 64.
No, I never had one. They were too expensive, to be honest with you, at the time, weren't they? I think they were priced out in the actual Commodore 64 itself.
Indeed they were, yeah, definitely.
That's why they're so valuable today, because it's not, the games didn't sell as many cassette tapes, like, on, the disc version, so...
Well, this is it. You don't really.
I think that's why it's so highly cost. Like.
I mean, if you go on eBay and you type in C64 games, it's like what 80 to 85% tapes, I would say, in the UK.
Yeah. It was quickly off the top of my head, I know a full price game on cassette was about £10.
Yeah.
A full price game on disc was £15.
Really?
So you're paying extra for it. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm trying to think now. I don't think I've got any original C64 games on disc.
No, I never had any discs, no.
I've got some discs. I have got some 5.5s, but they're just copies from back in the day, what people done for me and certain friends done.
Yeah.
Some good titles there. We'll touch on them as well. But yeah, moving on. Just wanted to highlight what you done, Gary, actually, because you were testing some games through the month, weren't you, on C64 month? So you had a few good ones there, and they all worked out okay, didn't they? So we got Uridium.
Yeah. Uridium, yeah.
Finders Keepers, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
New Zealand Story, which I know you love, and Denaris.
Yeah, I love that game. Yeah, they all good games. As you know, when you buy these games, it's nice to have them, but it's also a risk when working. But yeah, I felt lucky there. Good shop too. I didn't go to the shop. I went to the store at an event, but I'll be using them again, definitely.
Yeah, and
they all cracking games, like.
Yeah, and I don't own any of them, which is a shame. But obviously, Iridium, just to mention to people, we are doing this month as the challenge. That one is still ongoing at the moment. We were just talking before we went live. I love that game, but wow, do I find it hard. I will be honest, I am not good at Iridium. I was waiting for a sound effect there, Ryder. You've let me down. But it's not my ideal game, but I do have fun with it.
Yeah, Iridium is a really unique game. I never played a game like that. It's really complicated to get used to. I really need to play more to get used to.
I mean, I tried different things. I was trying to read the tips that a couple of members put there, but I think the way I upped my score that bit, and I am still going to try and up it a little bit before the end, is trying to learn the level, trying to just go through the level and figure out what's coming when, where it's going, and deal with it that way. Now, when I done that, I tended to do a bit better on score, but I mean, you're first, aren't you, Retroid? I mean, how you've got that score? You're not doing bad at all. You're winging it. You're doing well good.
The Iridium, not so much, because I just figured out that you need to land, right? You need to be on a certain position and speed, and then you need to actually land to go to another stage, something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it's really, I think, not sure if the patterns are the same. So that old, remind, you need to play and remember the pattern. I mean,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 100%. I think that is part of the key. We are going to touch on this anyway, just the challenges, both of them. What I wanted to touch on before we move on to the actual sort of lead parts of the podcast, which, as everyone's waiting for, it's the quiz and the top 5 games. You went to the show, Gary. It was a Spectrum one, wasn't it? What was it called? Crash
Live, yeah.
Yeah, and I was quite surprised because you put it on Discord. The first thing you see when you walked in was not a Sinclair, was it?
No, it was the old pet. Yeah, I was quite surprised. I think what they try to do, they obviously concentrate on one system, but they do power systems out for, like, people like me visiting, enjoying Spectrum. But I mean, nice to see a bit of Commodore there as well. Yeah, it was an amazing thing to see, beyond too.
I've actually not seen one in many years. I've got the picture in front of me here now. I'm just looking. So I will admit I do get a little bit confused with the early Commodores. So that is a CBM 3032.
Pet.
Now that was the successor to the PET, wasn't it? It had more RAM. Was that right?
Yeah, that's right. But I was going to say as well, when I was there, the guy who actually owned it actually opened it up for me. I forgot to take a picture of it, but it opens up from the front up like a car bonnet.
No.
And it's just absolutely full in it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd never seen anything like it. It was just so unique to see, like.
Yeah.
So,
that's the thing. I think some of them early computers, before your likes of Commodore and Atari and, the other 8-bit competitors, before they went mainstream, I think it really was just like, let's put this here, let's put that there. That works, leave it. That was how they did it, wasn't it? There was no mass production of them. They were early stages. So I've never seen one opened up, to be honest. I didn't know they opened up sort of like a front bonnet view like that. That sounds really cool.
Yeah. It's really cool, like it. Like.
How about you? Do you see any of them over there? Have you ever seen one?
You're talking about the Crash event?
The PET. It's like I don't know if you can just go on Google and have a look at the Commodore PET. It was I think it was the first computer they'd done, wasn't it?
Oh, the very early one there.
Yeah,
I think I remember.
I mean, we're looking at a slightly revised model, but
I thought. Yeah, it's really great, man. It's really everything in one, right? All in one.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, and it's such a science fiction-y look, isn't it? That's the thing. I mean, I'm sure it has been used in so many science fiction props, but it was really nice to see that, though, and it's good that they cater for the others. I mean, I have no problem with Spectrum. I've never owned one. I'd like to. I certainly would like to own a Spectrum, to be honest, but it's just a computer I've never really explored. Not really had the chance to be honest. I know a couple of friends did have them back in the day, but definitely we're going to have to start going to some of these shows, I think, and setting a little bit of a presence there for sure.
It's certainly worth doing. Like I said, Zap, it was unbelievable. It was incredible, that event as well.
Yeah. That wasn't too long ago neither, was it?
No, I think it was back in August, I think.
Yeah. I actually skipped the post, sorry guys. Just want to briefly touch on that before we move on to the serious stuff. So, I posted during the month in the C64 section various music demos. Now, I don't know how many of you check them out, but there are really some worthy titles there. And that's a brief just point I wanted to touch on that. Obviously, the C64 wasn't just all about games. It was a very capable computer for music and was also utilized for numerous business applications as well. But the music scene for the C64 is still big today. It's such a powerful computer for music. Nothing could get near it back in the days. Back in the 80s, nothing could get near it. I'd say probably I wouldn't say a competitor, but maybe a runner-up would be the Atari chip used. Was it the Oki chip or something? I can't pronounce it right. I think it was the Oki or something. It was a pretty good sound chip, but the SID chip, hands down. It's legendary, isn't it?
It's legendary.
I'm sure I told you guys. I'm still in work, by the
way. We actually have a composer here on the Blue Yak.
We do.
Right?
We do. Ryder, that's a brilliant point. Yeah, so we do, as a member of our community, have a really good member called Blue Yak, and big shout out. He got involved in the challenges. He shouted us out on Instagram. He got involved in the C64 month, so really appreciate that. But yeah, he can really create some amazing SID tunes, and they bowl me over, to be honest. I remember when I first realized that he was creating them, I must have spent about 3 weeks on his YouTube just watching like
I did
watch. You know, it's like, he must have thought,
Oh,
God,
it's
it's him
amazing.
again.
Like,
But yeah, no, he's very talented, and I appreciate the work he's put into this. But yeah, I mean, one of my favourite ones, which I could never believe back in the day, I'm just going to zoom in here, and I've still got this because what I'm looking at now are my not original discs. Deuce X, I've not pronounced it right, Deuce X Machina. Now, to me, that when I first seen that music demo, it was like, wow. You know, that how can a C64 do this? You know, how can it do it? It's not possible. But yeah, they literally squoze every drop out of them, didn't they?
Yeah, they pushed it beyond limits, didn't they? The demo scene, you know what I mean? It's incredible. They do, like, and they still do it today.
This is it.
Think, how can you do that to a Commodore 64? It's just impossible, but they do it, like.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've seen that when I posted not too long ago in the C64 section. Yeah. I think it was like 2022, and it started with a spinning globe of the Earth, and then came in with some real nice special effects. And I'm looking at this thinking, how is this a Commodore 64? This is like almost Amiga territory graphics-wise.
Yeah.
But fair dues to them. They definitely put a lot more effort in back then. So just there you go. I did say it earlier. So the next slide is our current challenges. We've already touched on Uridium. So does anybody want to say more on that?
It's hard.
It's fun.
It's hard. It's a tough game. I know radio's on about the landing. I just take, you got to try and memorize where you land your ship. You got to make sure the ship's going slow enough to land.
Right.
Yeah, it's a classic, and it's not one of those games you can easily pick up and play. You gotta work at it if you want. If you want more of it, you gotta work for it. Like,
yeah, you've got to learn. So, you can't just like go in there and expect to be really great at it. Unless you've done it previously, for sure.
It's not one of those games back then you pick up and you think, I'll complete this within a few hours. No, it's not that sort of game at all. Like, really.
No, years down the line, I've still not done it. But you actually picked it up as well, didn't you? We started the challenge. You went to Crash, and then you found it.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mad event. That was because I went up there obviously to see the Spectrums and all that. But I had a goal to go up there and meet Andrew Braybrook, the guy himself. And I seen him Friday night having a drink with a couple of other legends from the day. Like, so Pluck the Courage got my Iridium 2 box signed. That's what I really wanted. Next morning, went down to the event, and they had a stall there, and on the floor was a box full of Commodore 64 games, and it was just sat there on top. I couldn't believe it. Like,
I was
could have been empty now and for a while.
Yeah, I set records when he was looking down on you there. That was meant to be that. You were meant to get that game. You were meant to see it.
Yeah, that game was coming home with me. Yeah. A bit regretting now because I seen Last Ninja there as well, but I thought, it was the double cassette as well. I thought, it was a couple of pounds. I thought, is it going to work? And I thought, no, I got to calm down now because I ended up buying all of them always.
Oh, me too. I can't.
I'm terrible, so you don't see them very often.
Yeah, I can't take credit cards to places like that. It's dangerous. I just can't do it. I literally take a set amount of money. Right, I'm going to take £100. I can get items off my list for up to £100. And I do as quick a scout as possible because if I see like something that's literally £90 and I really want it, like a computer system, that's games out the window for the day. But yeah, probably not the best idea.
Yeah, it was all sensible prices. Like the same store was selling ZX Spectrums, and they were like completely refurb, completely recat, and they were like £80. Like, and they were mint. They really cleaned them up. They looked like new. So I was like.
See, I was
looking at one. I think, if I go home with that now, I'm going to be in trouble when I get home, because she's not going to be happy. But
it can be the car spectrum, Gary. It can be the car's spectrum.
Yeah, but there's rumours going around. Might be a Spectrum Mini coming out next year, so you never know.
Yes,
that's what I heard.
I've heard that. But I mean, those ones that Bob has posted in the actual section, those ones that he's got, the modified ones, I'd love one of them. Really, I am going to have to start looking at them soon, Spectrums. But Again, I want to look at Spectrums, I want to look at Oryx, I want to look at Acorns, I want to look at BBCs, I want to look at Tandys, I want to look at MSXs. It's like I've got to narrow it down to one thing at a time.
Yeah, you gotta calm down. You know, you can't. You gotta make sure you don't go overboard, really, because it can get expensive very quickly. Like,
this is it. I mean, if I ever won the lottery, I just might as well just like invest in eBay or something, because I'd never be off there.
yeah, get buy shares.
You need to do something, yeah. But the next challenge, obviously, needs no introduction. Game I've played since I was a kid. Don't claim to be brilliant at it, but I certainly have a lot of fun with it. Is Tapper. I think it's a brilliant game, to be honest. I do think it is a pick up and play, but again, it's not that easy. You've really got to focus. You've got to know where you're going. You know, do you deal with the person wanting the drink and getting closer, or do you deal with the glass about to drop? You know, it's the story of a bartender.
Oh yeah,
it's great.
I don't find it very frustrating, to be honest with you. I had a few goals until I realised they leave tips on a bar and you got to run down and get them. I've completely forgotten about that. Like, then
Oh yeah,
I need to play more of it. I do. I keep forgetting to do it, and your score just ramps right up then once you start collecting them.
So how does
it's
that
like a freeway
happen? Well, what stage or point does that happen then? Because I actually forgot about that until you mentioned it.
Yeah, you straight from start. So you know when you fill the glass and you slide them down the bar. Now and again, once they drink the glass, the pint, they'll leave tips. So what you do, if you run down the side of the bar, you collect the empty glass, and you grab the tip as well, and your score just goes right up then. Like you have you have possibly twice as amount of points as if you didn't do it. Like at the end of it, so you collect so many of them, you get the cheerleaders dancing on the stage as well. Then
I've never seen that before. I remember that.
I just giving Retro Raid a secret away, you know.
Yeah,
He didn't tell you about that, did he?
And while they are dancing, some of them got distracted, so they stopped. So that gives you time. So to do all the other, attend the others, because not everyone's gonna stop and stare to the dancers. Just some of them. Most of them not, but some are gonna keep going. So I was wondering, maybe I enable some cheats, because I mean, I got a huge score compared to everyone else, but I don't think I enable any cheats actually. And
I mean, it would.
But what I did,
it would say, surely, wouldn't it? Do you want to enable this, or do you want this? It would say it before.
Yeah.
You would have noticed.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure I didn't enable nothing, because about one thing that happened to me, I was like stuck in some stages. I couldn't proceed, because I couldn't stop. Everyone's. I mean, in order for you to progress the stage, you need to do as quick as possible. So, like everyone, every guy, there is at the other side. You just throw. They drink until they disappear. But there is a way that you can keep going and going and going on and ranking up your score. I think I did that, not on purpose. Naturally I did this because there was a time oh my god, I can't play this no more. I mean, I was exhausted playing. Yeah. But then I realized, okay, in order to progress, I need to do more quickly, and then there's something like, maybe it's obvious, but that thing that you run through the table, you can really that thing helps you get the cups and the tips, right? But I was, like maybe 15 to 10 minutes or half hour just stuck on some stages, but I was gaining life, more lives and more lives and more lives. So my score naturally ranked up very high, and I reached that alien stage. That's really really hard.
Seen it.
Yeah, it's really hard there. Okay. I was relieved, because okay, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna run out of life, and my game session is gonna end. And I did a really great score there.
Yeah,
I
100%.
love it.
I mean, we've got what? How long have we got left on those two now? It must be. We've still got about 4 or 5 days left on them, haven't we? Am I thinking?
Until third.
You got
right?
until Thursday.
Yeah. So
It's 1st of December. No, sorry, Friday, because my birthday's on a Saturday, so that's the second.
remember that one. Yeah. So you've still got time. I'm definitely going to try and get a couple of more entries in for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a go this week.
So moving on, because we are up to half an hour already. We haven't even got to the main sections yet. Just wanted to show a quick post there of, again, the maxi. With I did put this one on Instagram with the Retro Gamer magazine in place there. I thought that was a really nice post. Sorry, so I just wanted to highlight that quick. And just some brief history about the C64. And that is a big quiz clue there as well, because it's got some info there. So if you're looking at that, you've got the release date, which I'm not going to say. Introductory price, $595, equivalent to $1,800 in 2022. It was discontinued in April 94. Units sold, and this is estimated because obviously there was that many, 12.5 to 17 million approximate. And operating system was Commodore Kernel / Basic 2. GEOS optionally, it says in brackets. So yeah, she's an old girl now.
Oh yeah.
As old as me, which is young. But yeah, so moving on, we have, and I wish you could see this screen, what I've done for the quiz. It's time to do the quiz. Now, what I do need to say, I mentioned this to Gary before. I don't know if I mentioned it to you, buddy. We had quite a late submission on the Commodore quiz this evening. So I'd put like a little update just to, don't forget about the quiz. And we had another submission after that. So that isn't included here, but I will include it if that makes sense. It's not on the screenshot, but I will make sure it's there. So, what year was the Commodore 64 released? The original.
85.
83.
Where's my little 14 buzzer? No, it was 1982.
Oh.
And there is one answer for 83, but I'm guessing that was yours, 1983.
More likely was.
So we had two for 19. We had 3 answers on the quiz for 1983. The late submission tonight was 19. Sorry, I said that wrong. We had 3 submissions for 82, and the late submission was for 82 and 183. So 4 correct answers and 1 incorrect for that one. Oh, I've gone back to the wrong slide. So professional, aren't we? Number 2 is, what is the SID chip? What does it stand for? What does SID stand for in SID chip?
Oh, yeah.
Ryder?
No clue.
No? Okay. The correct answer is sound interface device. Now, we had sound interface device 3 times. No, sorry. 4 times we had it, including the new entry tonight. So, yeah, sound interface device, sound interface device, sound interface device. The one tonight was that as well. And we had a submission for sync in dimension.
Ooh.
That's probably me.
It sounds quite technical.
Sync in dimension.
And it probably does. I reckon the SID chip does do that.
I think I meant immersion, maybe not dimension, but
Well, I think you should get.
It just makes sense.
Honorary point. Honorary point for coming up with such a unique answer. No, but the correct answer is sound interface device. Okay. So question 3. What is the name of the CPU in the Commodore 64?
Commodore 64 CPU.
Nope. Yeah, what's it called? What's its name?
I just said Commodore 64 CPU.
We could go with that. Well, somebody thinks it's called Cortana.
Cortana.
Yeah, Cortana was
That's
an answer.
probably me.
Cortana, I don't know. Cortana was an answer. Somebody thought it was called Fred. So we've literally got, I'm going to read these. We've got Fred, Cortana,
Right.
Moss, okay. And we had two answers, which were 100% correct. That includes the submission this evening, which doesn't show here. Moss 6510. That was the CPU name. So I reckon Moss is right. Obviously, Moss 6510 is 100% right. So 3 100%ers and Moss, I think, is correct. So well done. Next one. I think this one stumped a few people, actually. But this is what got me. Right? All of the answers were out there in the community. Like somebody would say, I'm doing this. And I'd be like, oh, he's just put a quiz answer. So if you were paying attention, you know these answers. So what was the nickname given to the original Commodore 64 due to its shape?
I'll let Ryder go with this one.
Go on, Ryder. What was the
Mini
nickname?
table.
Huh?
Mini table.
No. Well, somebody put pass. I'm guessing that means they pass on the question because they didn't know it, not that they thought it was called pass.
That's fair.
Pass would be memorable. Just picked up a pass, Yeah, we could go with that. We also had Raiden, which I don't know. I don't know where Raiden comes from.
Raiden.
Raiden, Raiden, Raiden.
I'm not sure what was my answer.
All these names, they needed to be an original Commodore design to even have some influence there, I think.
Yeah.
And of course, the correct answer is bread bin, because it kind of looked like a bread bin. So we had 3 correct submissions for bread bin, 2 on the initial part of the quiz, and the one tonight also stated bread bin. So 3 correct answers there. The next one, and I'm going to be honest, I was a little bit surprised that some people got this wrong, but maybe that's me thinking just as like somebody who's quite into Commodore, I don't know. So how much RAM, random access memory, does the Commodore 64 have?
Mm, 8K.
8K. Just a K,
Yeah.
Nothing else? Just 8K?
8K kilobytes.
8 kilobytes of RAM. Okay. Gary?
64 kilobytes, I thought. But
Which is, of course, 100% correct. The clue is there in the name. Commodore 64, 64 gigabytes of RAM. It, of course, states it on the first initial load screen. So, yeah, the correct answer is 64 gigabytes. Again, 3 correct answers, including the submission late on tonight, all said 64 KB. And we had 2 answers of 16 KB.
Ooh.
Maybe they were getting confused on a Commodore 16. Not sure if that name was
Yeah, so I was thinking then.
Maybe. But, we had some good submissions. We had 5 people take part in the quiz. And considering how many Commodore 64 active members we have in the community, for even just like half of them to take part, I thought was really good. It's definitely involved the month a bit more. So the next one. Now, again, this one really stumped people, I think. It really stumped people, okay? So I'm going to be quite careful in reading this question. And I have got a post just to briefly explain it. So here we go. Can a Commodore 64 utilize 3.5-inch floppy disks? And that was a yes or no question. So can it use, in whatever shape or form, doesn't have to be through the original machine itself, but can it use 3.5s?
Yes.
Yeah, this is, you got me thinking on this one now, because I know the famous Commodore 65 was supposed to have a 3.5 floppy disk, wasn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. That's built in, isn't it? That's built into the actual.
Built in, yeah. Does it play externally or
Okay, so
I never seen it, so I would say no.
Yeah. Okay, so it was pretty even here until tonight. So we had one person up until our late submission that had put yes. Everybody else put no. So 3 no's and 1 yes. That's how it stood this evening. And then this mystery person, who we don't know who they are, just came in and stormed into the Commodore quiz, I'm going to say, and aced it, and also put yes. So the answer is yes. Our Commodore 64 can use 3.5-inch floppy disks. Now I'm just going to read this out. The TIB001 was a 3.5 floppy disk that connected via the C64 expansion port, meaning that these drives were very fast. The C64 could also boot them, meaning the floppy disks, automatically, with it being based on cartridge technology. Now that's from Google. So I actually knew about this because I picked up a job lot of Commodore C64 items some years ago. And when I say some years ago, I'm talking probably 2008, 2009, when I had my other C64C. And in this big box was 3.5s. And I thought the same. I looked at, what? These aren't Commodore 64. They must be Amiga. I started looking at them. They were Loadster discs. So they're like a demo pack disc that would have come with a magazine or something. And no, lo and behold, after looking them up on the internet, Commodore 64 can use 3.5-inch floppy disks. So I think that isn't well known to an extent, but yeah, it certainly can if you link a 3.5 floppy disk drive in there, which is that one I mentioned, the TIB001. I'm not sure if there were others made, but as you said, Gary, obviously we got the C65 there, which is just, I could drool over that all day long.
Yeah, it's a beauty, isn't it?
Absolutely. But try and get hold of one. You've got zero chance.
No chance.
Literally.
Not even the new one.
No, that's it. They've stopped them now. So the only chance to get one is if somebody's willing to part with one. So the next one, what is the Commodore 64 tape deck called? Ryder? I know Gary knows this one. So, sorry?
Paper 64.
No, it isn't. So we got 3 correct answers, and we also got 2 other submissions as well. I think the best submissions were Steve and Space Hog.
Yeah, that was me.
You put the Space Hog, yeah?
Yeah, because I was.
Is that the first thing that came to mind?
No, this was the music. I think it's the artist from the music I post my 4K followers. I remember, it's Space Hog, their artists, and I just might have been, like, I could be right? It's a guess.
Oh, 100%, you're right. Yeah, it's of course called Space Hog, definitely.
I'm not sure what Space Hog means.
There from everyone online going, what? Is he crazy? No, it's of course called the data set.
That makes more sense.
Yeah,
Space Hog.
And we had 2 submissions on the initial quiz, and then we had the one tonight who again aced the data set. I always struggle to pronounce it, and I struggle to spell it. Data recorder, I think they were also, I've heard it called as well, but it's certainly the official name from Commodore was data set, wasn't it? So well done on that one. 3 correct answers. Okay, now, perfect. This one, everybody got right. Okay, everybody aced this one. What is the file format for a C64 disk image called. So we're talking emulation there.
.c64.
All answers are right, so you've definitely got this right, buddy. But it's slight variation. D.64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was playing recently the ROM, and I remember, D. Yeah.
So that was question 8. We've got 2 more. Now this one was, I remember I'd put what can a C64 utilize? And the options were cartridge, tape, and floppy disk, meaning 5.5-inch floppy disk. The answer is all of them, of course. C64 can use tape, it can use 5.5-inch floppies, and it can use cartridges, which load directly into the back of the C64. So well done, everybody got that one right.
Yeah.
And last, I'm already laughing at this one, sorry. Last but not least, who founded Commodore? The answer, of course, without question, is John Commodore III.
That was my answer, yeah. Because, usually every single English name, UK, British name, almost all names ends with that, right? John III and Sir Clare the Fourth, it's all about kings and queens, right? Elizabeth. So I might as well, might it be something, John the Third, that's why I submit that answer. Is it right?
Nobody, it's not, sorry. But it's a brilliant answer. I looked at that and I literally smiled and laughed. Because I think it should be John Commodore III. But we also had John Commodore that somebody else submitted. So I don't. Somebody must have a connection here with John Commodore. Who is this John?
Yeah.
No. We had another answer, which is Tramiel, which I'm going to accept because that's his last name. The answer is, of course, Jack Tramiel, which was 2 literal correct answers, including a submission late tonight. So 2 for Jack Tramiel, 1 for Tramiel, John Commodore, and John Commodore III. I wonder if John Commodore III succeeded John Commodore then. Must have done, mustn't it? That's how these things work. Right, so accidentally zoomed in there. We now have. Can we have a drum roll, Ryder?
Oh, yeah.
Drum rolls, people. That didn't sound like a drum roll. There we go.
We don't have, so.
No?
Yeah, we don't.
Never mind. We're working with what we've got. And now, Retro Slice top games on the C64. Now, I haven't done these. These are in order of how they were received. So like a set of 5, etc. But I can't remember who submitted what because I didn't put people's names by them. So just like the quiz, I can't remember who done what. So they're just all in slides. We're going to start straight in with vote number 1. And that is the A-Team.
That's me.
I actually knew that one was you. Because you were one of the first people that submitted it to me through PM. And surprise, I've never played it. I've never played the A-Team on a C64.
So I was watching worst games for Commodore, and this one was the top. This is the worst game for the Commodore, and I play it, and it's really terrible. So I might as well, vote for the best.
So you're just trying to give an unloved game some appreciation.
Yeah, because this probably, never got appreciated at all. So might as well. But I played this game. It's so terrible. It's almost unplayable. And I didn't find the cover. I didn't find any cover for that. Maybe they didn't even bother to make a cover art for this game.
Yeah, he's right there because I was trying to look for the cover art today for it.
Was you?
No. But yeah, I end up getting a homemade one in the end for my launch box. So I put on my launch box this morning.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, honestly, never played it, and I'm just looking there. It actually says 1984, so that was quite an earlier release then. Because I mean, the 64.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Found out it only come out in 1982. So it's only 2 years after the Commodore 64 was released. That game was released. So learning curve maybe by the developer.
A steep one.
Very steep. That needed a sound effect. But I can't honestly vote for that one. I don't know what we're going to do with the A team. So thanks, Ryder. Yeah. Moving on swiftly. We have CJ in the USA.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great game. So they've done a couple of CJ games, and I'm not sure if I got USA or Elephant Antics, is there? I got one of them, definitely, because I used to love the budget range, right, used to buy a lot of them.
I've definitely played both to quite an extent.
Yeah.
I prefer CJ in the USA. That's the one I had growing up. I did eventually get the other one. Got it on the maxi, got it on tape. The tape doesn't work, as we know. That was sad. But I think it's a great game. I think he's such a cutesy little character for the C64, and it's not a bad platformer. It's a pretty decent platformer. I mean, who else?
Got great music, great gameplay. So yeah.
And where else can you be an elephant and fire peanuts? Let's be serious.
Yeah. This one it's not that easy every game, but I check other CJ versions of this game. In the Commodore, there's something in the Commodore that looks pretty unique and much more cute. I'm not sure. it's really nice. These in the eyes, the Commodore fits more of the maybe the CG proposed, as a character and stuff and environment. It just makes more. I think it looks greater on Commodore than the other systems.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, Commodore were leading the way back then to an extent, weren't they? Where others were trying to compete, most definitely. But I've got a question. Does anybody know why, on the actual cover art and on my box, why did CJ get X-rated? What's with the X-rated part? I don't get that.
No, I don't either. I haven't got my game to hand at the moment. I could check.
Yeah, I mean, literally on my tape.
It's on top of the wardrobe at the moment.
But what I'm seeing now, but what that does, it doesn't mean.
X-rated. So to me, X-rated means adult. Adult rated, X-rated. But I mean, poor CJ didn't deserve that.
That would speculate more conspiracy theories. Yeah. There's something hiding in this game, Now I'm worried.
X-rated secrets in CJ.
There's a Easter egg hiding there.
Do you know what? Maybe there is, actually. Maybe there is. But I could never get that. I'll have to research that, actually, because maybe it doesn't mean X-rated as what we're thinking X-rated. Maybe it doesn't mean X-rated as in adult, but that's what it would seem to mean. But yeah, nonetheless, a great game. So next one, Pit Stop 2. This is still you, Ryder, and you You were very close here with Gary on the challenge, weren't you? I couldn't even finish. I could not even finish, which I'm quite sad about, really.
Yeah, I was impressed by this game. So fun.
It is fun, but to me, I need to stop bashing into cars. I need to stop bashing into the side. And I need to remember to not just keep continually going around the track and actually remember to pull in the pits. So, yeah, it's definitely something I need to go back to. It's a game I've had for some time. I honestly think the improvement that they made over 1 to 2 was dramatic. And I do think that's worth noting. You know, the difference between 1 and 2 is very notable. And I do think it's graphically a good game. I think the sound effects aren't bad at all. For me, I just don't find it that easy, though.
Yeah, it's challenging. It's for me, it's one of the best. I think it's the best artwork for a game cover, not only for Commodore 64, but general. It's really nice. It's really outstanding. So,
yeah, I do really like the cover art on it as well. To be honest, I really like the design that they went for, the colours and the sort of the quite distinct lines. It's very, to me, it strikes like futuristic, but also racing, if that makes sense.
The Riverly, like a Riverly, right?
Yeah,
feeling
exactly.
there.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's really, yeah.
I mean, I've got this on original cassette as well, which I'm glad I have. Not in A1 condition, but even now, sort of how long on it, you look at that cover, it grabs your attention, you know?
Yeah.
And Gary as well, I know this is one of your favourites, buddy. Oh, I think we may have lost Gary. You still with us, Gary?
No, probably not.
Oh, no. Maybe he's had to mute it or something. But we've still got a couple of yours, Ryder. One sec. So Pac-Man was your next one.
It basically games that we played as a challenge.
True, we did. Did we do the Commodore 64 version for Pac-Man? Oh, we did do Commodore 6. Of course we did. We did do Commodore 64 for Pac-Man, yeah. Because I played it on the original cartridge, didn't I?
You to blame, yeah.
I suppose I've got to take that one on the chin, haven't I? I play every version. Are you back with us, Gary?
I think I'm back. I think I am, yeah. It dropped out for some reason. I don't know why.
Probably like mine done before, yeah. I just had to reconnect. You didn't miss anything, mate. We were just talking about the pit stop cover and how amazing it looks.
One of the greatest races on a Commodore 64, that one.
Yeah, I literally said I knew it was one of your favourites. And the difference they made over number 1, you know, graphically as well.
Yeah, he's... well... You gotta try. I think it's one of those games as well. You really gotta try and play it with 2 players as well.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Like, spent so many hours with my brother playing it when he was growing up. Like, fantastic game. Like, everything in it, I reckon.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all there. It's hard, but you know, you just it's like a lot of Commodore 64 games are not easy. It's plenty of practice. You go remember the tracks, try not to hit cars on a bend like I do. That's my biggest problem with it. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it is a fun one. I just need to definitely get more practice on it and certainly have another look at it. But we touched on Pac-Man there. Let me see what's next is... Well, this is going to crop up more than once. Your last one, Ryder, is Bubble Bobble.
Yeah.
And I mean, what can we say there? You know, we had it for a reason in the challenges for November. It is a great game. It was a very influential. Get my words out. A very influential game.
Yeah.
You know, you read up on it. It literally was, I would say, partially the reasoning on why, you know, sort of more ladies got into gaming in the 80s was for Bubble Bobble and things like Miss Pac-Man. So it's one of those games that they tried to aim more at the family and more not just like you know, gaming was very male dominated then, wasn't it, as regards games? So this was their attempt to break that, and I think they succeeded and then some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're 100% there, really. Sorry, Ryder. Because it's like my mum, like, we had Commodore 64 and Amigas, but that was one of the very, very few games you see us sit there and play. It was
Yeah.
Bubble Bobble.
Exactly.
It's fun for all the family, and it doesn't make any difference how far you get in it. Is just playing it and chasing umbrellas on the screen and avoiding the monsters when they'd catching you. It was great fun.
I hate those ghost monsters. Just like
Oh, they're firing those fireballs at you like God.
I try and run around the screen avoiding them, and it's just like he'll just like hover near you,
Yeah.
go above you, and then he'll just go. It's like damn.
That one level when they just like 9 of them drop at once, like you trying to jump up to the top of the screen and you're trying to avoid them, like can pop them off one by one.
Yeah, I'd say my worst fears on Bubble Bobble is those ghosts, and also the little ones that, like you said, they fire the balls. Like you can be on the ground level, and they look like they've got a little hoodie on, and then they'll just you'll get down there. As soon as they get on the bottom level, boom, they'll fire a ball at you. So you got to jump, then go back down, then bobble him.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no,
yeah,
it's such a fun game.
Yeah, and this was my first time playing this.
Really?
I checked the arcade version. So there was some content cut, especially the ended bosses. It's very different, but I mean it's another game that it's really cute on the Commodore. Commodore is like it's like a place for you to play cute games because it's really fun and cute to see the graphics on. So like CJ, it's really they with the sound as well, and the gameplay is very very tuned. Very very easy to play. Responds very very well.
Yeah, I really do love the music. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, and even growing up, and sort of, when you had sort of friends over, or even when I was, seeing the odd girlfriend, they'd be like, "Do you want to play on Bubble Bobble?" And some of them would just be like, "Who? What?" And then something like, "Let me show you it." You'd show them it. I did fall in love with it. Literally just fall in love. And they'd be saying, "Can we play Bubble Bobble?" I was like, "Wow, she's a keeper." She's a keeper.
Do you want to come on my place and play a bit of Bubble Bobble?
Exactly. It sounds so wrong, but it could be so right. But
they are gonna think it's just a bath, with bubbles, just bubbling on the bubbles,
Yeah, you're right. That could definitely go two ways, couldn't it? But I think no matter what system you play it on, it's just a fun game, isn't it? But it really, I think the version on the C64 is kind of close to the arcade.
Unique, yeah.
Close. And I just can't get rid of it, to be honest. I could go home and play on it again now, challenge or not, no problem.
Yeah, if you compare, I know Atari 2600, it's older, right? From 77, like 5 years older. But, if you see some ports on Atari like Pac-Man, they are really, at least, first glance, it's really terrible or terrifying. And the noise, the sound effect as well. But, on this case, the Commodore port, I know it's more advanced, but it's really unique port, if you say it. And it's a great, the Commodore has some great ports, for the arcade, I believe.
So, the next vote was, this is game vote 2 now. This is the second set of votes we received. And surprise, surprise, Pit Stop 2. So we are going to.
I got a feeling these might be my sledge,
You reckon it is yours, Jerry? Okay.
Yeah, I think it is.
I will say some of these are going to crop up more than once, but hey, that says something, right? So again, Pit Stop 2, amazing game. Let's move on to the next one to see if it is you. Of course it is. Rainbow Islands.
Oh yeah, absolute classic. That was my very first big box game on a Commodore 64. That was They didn't have any in stock in the shop, so my parents had to order it for me for my birthday.
Oh wow, okay.
And when they first put that tape in, and seen the ocean loader come up and the graphics, so from me on, I was hooked. Incredible game, arcade put onto the Commodore 64.
Definitely. And of course I have played it quite a bit. I'm going to be totally honest, I used to find it a little bit of a frustrating game as a kid. I think that's more because it was just a bit different, wasn't it? But
yeah, I think that was I think you nailed it there. I think that was the problem with Rainbow Island. So a lot of people, I think, because Bubble Bobble's such a big game, they sort of went a completely direction with it.
Yeah.
Complete different direction.
Yeah.
Because when they come back, then the Parasol Stars, which was now released on the Commodore 64, and they sort of like mixed the two together, then didn't they, to try and keep everyone happy, I think, really.
And I mean, I'm actually not sure. I mean, I know we do, but I'm actually not sure how many people actually realise that it is connected. It is the sequel.
Yeah. Not many people know that. It's crazy to believe, isn't it?
Yeah. So, if you want to look that up, people, there you go. Check out Rainbow Islands. It's a great game, and it does have a lot of influence from Bubble Bobble, and is the second instalment as such. The box art is amazing, though. It's so colourful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and obviously they use the same box art for most systems, didn't they? So
yeah,
so iconic, like.
That's it. So next one from yourself, Gary. What can I say? Absolute classic, RoboCop.
Yeah, RoboCop. What can you say about that? I know there's a rivalry between the Spectrum version and the Commodore 64 version, rightly so, because the Spectrum version is special, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But the Commodore 64 is one I remember, and it's just a great game, great music. The loader screen as well, that's memorable on its own. Not an easy game, mate.
No, it's not. It's not. I find the punch sequence sort of quite difficult, to be honest. But I really like the in-game music. To credit to it, I do actually like the in-game music.
That's it too. That's it. Chip done a great job, didn't it? Fair play. The music's just thumping, and that's what you want from a RoboCop game, really.
Exactly. You want its attention. But I don't own it, unfortunately. I probably do have it on the maxi, but I don't own a physical copy, which is unfortunate because I'm quite a RoboCop fan.
I was going to say, I got a big box version, but my tapes are not working, so I'm trying to source a replacement tape for it.
Oh, right, okay. At least you got the box, though.
They ain't hard to find, beyond through, so when I see one, I was just going to put in it squad tape, and I'd say pretty cheap enough RoboCop, they made loads of them ones.
Yeah.
But I think, I got to have the proper tape, I'm going to have the original Ocean one.
Oh, definitely. I think the picture we've got here is the Hit Squad release.
Yeah.
So that's the one I'm
still good. I'd be happy when it's Squad one, because I got the box. I haven't got the poster either. And you can get with the instruction manuals on the back of the poster, and so
right.
I keep an eye out and see what I can find.
That's it, mate. That's all we can do, isn't it? But definitely a game that I will repeatedly play. No problem.
Yeah, no problem.
Next we have Forbidden Forest.
Yeah, it's definitely mine now, isn't it? Yeah. I didn't have the full price one of that. I had the budget one. As you know, the UK version had a different cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason I like it was the most terrifying game I ever played on a Commodore 64. It's one of the first ones that had blood and gore in it. It's crazy to believe now, but I still fire up now and again, have a go. Like I say, you know those spiders on the screen, you still run from them. And you're panicking to try and load that arrow because it just in fire straight away. You got to load it first, haven't you?
Yeah.
But absolute classic game. I should imagine that one come up again as well.
Well, we might surprise you there. But I need again to be honest. Yes, I did play it back in the day. Did I have it? No. I believe a friend had it, and he was quite obsessed with it. So, whenever we went round there, that would have to get a look in. I did admire it. It was a great game. but it's not really a genre that I lean to. But again, there are exceptions in that, and this is probably one of them for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And our music as well. That music terrifies you as well, so atmospheric.
Yeah. It's one I definitely need to give more attention to. Have you tried this one, Ryder?
Oh yeah. No, didn't try this one yet.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out, definitely. And famous publisher again, US Gold. So I think, is that your 5, Gary, or have we got? No, we've got one more, Beachhead.
Yeah, that's another game I got fond memories of. That was like the second game I ever played on there, on the Commodore 64.
Oh, really?
It's just it's really early one. It's in 83, 84, I think. And
got it on here.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's a great game, innit? You know, you got every level's different. So it's like mini games within a game. And to be honest with you, I love the tank stage. So being a kid, you know, you're going around with a tank blast and everything, you know, it's just great fun. Like, and right at the end, then when you take on the big gun, then the dictator himself, and you're watching that gun come around, you're trying to shoot all those squares as quick as possible. You are on the edge of your seat, like, so yeah.
See, that's what it's all about. A game that keeps you interested, gets that heart pumping, and you want to do it. You want to see what happens after, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it does get nail biting, fair play. Cracking game.
Again, this one, when I seen it, I was like, oh, new one on me. Never played it, never heard of it until you voted for it, buddy.
Yeah, I definitely recommend you having a look at it.
Yeah.
It might not be your taste, like, but it's certainly worth firing up, just for curiosity, I would say.
Yeah, indeed. And I will take you up on that. So some great choices so far, and we've still got 3 more. I think these are mine next. So let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. So surprise, surprise. It's Bubble Bobble.
It's taken over the show, that one, isn't it? Fair play, why not?
Yeah, just in case anybody's just tuning in, welcome to the Bubble Bobble show. More can we say? You know, it keeps on cropping up for a reason, right? It's such an addictive game.
Yeah, it is. It's a pick up and play, isn't it? You can play.
Exactly. No matter, you know, I mean, it's been ported to that many systems.
Yes, you know, plenty of fun in it. You know,
you can even get a handheld Bubble Bobble.
Yeah, as I'm saying, it's everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, surprise, surprise, that one did come up again. Next for me was Moonwalker.
No, I never played this one on a Commodore 64, so I played the Amiga version, but not on a Commodore 64.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were kind of similar. I was the opposite way around, so I didn't know much on the Amiga version until late on, but loved the Commodore 64 version. I wasn't very good at it, but wow, did I try that game. You know, running around trying to avoid all the enemies on the level 1, the bike on level 2. The music, though, the intro, I would honestly just load that game to hear the music and just leave it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. And, you know, sometimes it's just the music, the actual game itself. And I know, I mean, I can listen to this all day.
Yeah. And I had it as a kid. It was one of my original tapes. So even back then, I would just say, yeah, I want to listen to Moonwalker. I'd put it on. And people say, what are you doing? It's like, I'm loading it. You're not going to play a game? No, I just want to listen to the music. Yeah, I think it's a good one, and I think it does get overlooked. Obviously, it's quite similar on different systems, anyway, isn't it? So if you've played like one version, you've probably played if you've played one 8-bit version, you've probably played another.
Yeah, I'll certainly have to try that one out, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a shot, mate. And this one, I'm not 100% sure on this. I don't think it was a full release game. It is my vote, but it's Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah. Now, I got this game on a Power Pack tape. They came attached to the Commodore format, and it was one of them. I still have the original tape, my original, believe it or not, but it doesn't work, which is a bit sad. Tried both sides. I'm showing the picture of it here. So it came on like a multi-game pack. So you had Head the Ball on there, Mission Impossible, First Samurai, and another game that's going to crop up in a minute, Creatures 2.
Oof.
So it was like a
demo. That's an hard game.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. But Mission Impossible, I didn't find that easy. Have you never played that one, Gary or Ryder?
No, I have never played that one. I'm going to certainly look at the end of the podcast, and check it out.
Yeah, it's definitely
a hidden gem.
I mean, me neither.
It's kind of a unique puzzle game, I would say. It can get a little bit intense quite quickly. You've got to sort of figure out where you're going, figure out where you've been. Yeah. Don't go there again. So it's it's just a nice little. You don't need much time on it. You learn it pretty quickly, but it's not.
Yeah.
I just actually quite like it. I like the music. I like the theme. I don't think the graphics is shockingly bad, but I think it's unique, to be honest.
And that works sometimes, doesn't it? You don't have to have amazing graphics. Something different. Good gameplay, and you're playing it is certainly right. That's the way to look at it.
Exactly. And obviously it's on the maxi, and this one is on the C64 collection pack for the Evercade that I got. So
is it? Yeah.
And Mission Impossible.
Oh, I'll have to certainly check these out after.
Yeah, definitely. And I did just mention it there. Actually, I didn't. Wrong slide. My next choice is Law of the West.
Right. I have played that game. I never owned it, so I got a feel.
Yeah. What, you mean the developer, buddy?
No, the game itself. Law of the West. That's the Western game, isn't it? Is that the one when you got a gun and?
Yeah.
Or am I thinking of the wrong game?
No, you are.
Yeah.
So you are the sheriff.
Yeah.
You come to this town. You're armed and you're faced with various situations. But what I really like about Law of the West is, to me, it's like, if you think about modern Western games now, like Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2, your game is based on your choices. So you can have a different outcome based on what you input and based on how you react with characters. And everybody gets enthralled with that. Oh, my God, it's amazing. It's like, I can alter the story. Hello, you could do that in Law of the West. Your actions altered the story. So you were faced with various options, multi-choice options for each scenario, and what you chose altered the scenario. I used to go through the world. It was great fun. I'm not sure how many people have checked out the challenge that me and Ryder done for that, the live gameplay, but Ryder's ruthless on this game. You don't want Ryder as the sheriff, I'm telling you.
Yeah, he's ruthless, see?
that was fun. Yeah,
it is
really fun to play this again.
We do need to play it again, I think. How quite to do that, I'm not sure, but I think it's an overlooked game. It's one I had growing up, and it's one that, even when I was 17, 18, early 20s, your friend would come round that you haven't seen in 2 years, and he'd say, "You haven't still got Law of the West, have you?" I'd be like, "Actually, I have put Law of the West on." It was just one of those memorable games for me. So that was my fourth choice. My last choice, I did mention briefly, was Creatures 2.
Again, a list together, but no.
Oh, I lost you on signal there, Gary, slightly. Say that again.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say at the end of the podcast, I will certainly check these games out so far because I got a bit of a list growing now. So it's mad. You think you played every Commodore 64 game that was made 30 odd years ago, but you haven't. You know, in here. You know what I mean? There's always one that pops out now and again.
And that's it. I think we could continue that until we leave this wonderful place, mate. You know, what I mean, there is so many that there's not enough time. There is not enough time. But definitely,
It's not enough time, yeah.
And what about you two? Did you play Creatures too?
Yes, I have played Creatures too, but on as an emulator, because I done a video a while ago for Thalamus games on C64.
Yeah.
Now, the second one is a lot different from the first one, isn't it?
Oh,
but,
yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is quite different, isn't it? But,
they can be frustrating, but every night, it's different, but it's a cracking game.
It is, and I think the graphics are quite good, actually.
Yeah, they reckon. I read about Thalamus a few times. They reckon they used to push the Commodore 64 to its limits. They always try to get the best out of it.
Yeah.
You know, you look at their game collection, like, it's incredible, like, what games they got, and, you know, graphic-wise and music-wise, and it was unbelievable, like.
Yeah, they really did bring some joy to the 64, didn't they? But again, I had that game as a kid. I had it on that demo pack tape. It's definitely one that I enjoy going back to. There was this one particular level, and I don't know whether it was just part of a level or whether it was part of the demo tape only. And you used to have like a cliff set up on one side, and you'd have to bounce patients across on a hospital stretcher to the other side. Yeah. That was brilliant. I had so much fun doing that. But you know, it's like it can go tragically wrong, or it can just go very well. So yeah, definitely worth checking that one out. So, game vote 4. The Last Ninja.
Wow, yeah. This game don't really need an introduction, really. It does as soon as you put that tape in, shift and run stop, press play. Once the Last Ninja goes off screen, that's it. Then you aim for one hell of a thrill ride with that one, innit?
Yeah. And I mean,
loader, game, music is all there.
The music, though, the level play, the synchronizations between the levels, it just seemed so detailed back then. I'm like, I want what's next? What's around the corner? You know?
Yeah, it's just so smooth, innit? The game is just. It's just wow, like, you know, you think, how can you beat that? You know, they released Last Ninja 2, that's another classic, but yeah, they hit it first time, didn't they? Fair play to them, the first game was just incredible.
Yeah, they definitely aced it first time. The second one was just a bit of a mind-boggling improvement, wasn't it? But it's definitely got my attention, that's for sure. And I do remember seeing this one quite early on, because there was a neighbour of mine, and his dad had a Commodore 64, and this was one of his favourite games. And I remember that was the first time I ever seen it. So that must have been early 90s.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just thinking about Last Ninja. You know, I never owned the first one. The second one, I had a compilation pack.
Okay.
So the first Ninja game, it was a few years later, I think, when I first played that one. But yeah, it's incredible because there's always been a split between which one's best, first one or second one. But 9 times out of 10, everyone will say the first one. You've got to agree with that because that's what it began, really.
Yeah, I agree. It's not an easy one, but I would say the first one, to be honest. I think that's probably the most common answer, isn't it? What about you, Reagan? Have you tried this one?
No, I just tried the ones on the challenge and the worst one, the 18, and the CG. Yeah,
you need to check this one out, definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it. It's interesting.
Okay, so the next one is Aztec Challenge. Now, this one I've never played.
Yeah, I didn't really play it until I got into Instagram and Mr. Blue Yike put a video out of it.
Who done that?
And Blue Yike.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Blue Yike, yeah. And what a game that is, isn't it? That's another Paul Norman game. You know what I mean? The guy who created Forbidden Forest.
Oh right. Okay.
So yeah, very atmospheric and great gameplay. Very different as well for his time. You know, I mean, it's not a race, it's not a platformer. There's a bit of everything in it, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I should check this out. That is one.
You never played it, have you?
Never played it.
Oh, you gotta play that. If it's one game up from tonight, if you have a list of games you haven't played, that one's gotta be on top.
Okay.
So if you haven't played it, you gotta play that. Then you gotta play Beachhead. That's my personal opinion.
Need to be making.
It's an absolute cracking game.
It's funny you should say that because I'm pretty sure that this was. I pronounce his Instagram title differently. I think this was from Blue Yak though.
Blue Yak. It more likely is Blue Yak. It's just my accent.
Because of Blue. I know he did explain his name. Like the blue is.
Yeah.
It's from Blue Max, isn't it? And the Yak is game related as well. I think it's Blue Yak anyway.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'm definitely.
We need to be careful, otherwise they're gonna. It looks like it's yak, like gross, not like that, right?
Pronunciation wise, sure. It's just
no clue.
No, sure it's blue yak because it's double Y, isn't it, or is it double K? I think double K.
Double K.
Double K. Yeah, it's got to be blue yak, as in because I'm sure that's the yak is the gaming character or something, isn't it? I'm not sure. We're going down a rabbit hole here. Next challenge. Raid on Bulgarian Bay, or Bungling Bay.
This one, the cover is really bizarre.
I
don't know what game is this. The cover is really bizarre.
Yeah, I've seen this one, and the gentleman we just mentioned, this is another one he put on Instagram. Yeah, I haven't really played it myself, be honest with you, but yeah, it looks like a cracking game. If I can remember off the top of my head, I think you're like a top-down plane and you go around the map and you're blowing anything up and yeah.
I'm sold already.
Another one you want to add to your list.
That's great. But yeah, I mean, again, I'd never heard of it. You know, I couldn't even pronounce it because I was trying to drive and look at the screen at the same time. A bit of a no-no. But no, I've never heard of it. And like you say, that cover art is it's kind of unique, isn't it? So that's another one to check out for sure. And this is what you say, Gary. It never ends, does it? It really, with the Commodore 64, there is so many titles to check out. Next one is the Pharaoh's Curse. And I'm going to be honest again, I've not played it. How about you two?
Nope. No.
Gary? Gary's got audio problem there again. He's back. Can you hear us, Gary? So yeah, I've not played it. I might have to check that out as well at the end, actually. Just see if I mean, obviously, I'm guessing by the cover, what the genre is about, obviously. But that is something I'm going to have to check out as well. So we've come to nearly the end. This is the second to last submission. So last but not least, the last vote-ins. Oh, no, I tell a lie. Sorry. We have got another entry for Forbidden Forest, which was from Blue Yak. So there you go, Gary. You were right. It would come back to us again. Again, clearly something I need to look at.
Yeah, I just checked the Pharaoh's Curse. It's just like a Pitfall underground. It's like a load runner. It's like a platform.
Oh, the ad.
So it looks like Pitfall and Load Runner, but you have roads and tunnels. It looks like it's underground. Maybe pyramid stuff, but yeah, not pyramid. It seems interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So clearly that
Forbidden.
yeah, it was in Gary's set, so it's in Blue Yaks as well. You got it.
Oh yeah, the guy with the arrow and bow and arrow.
That's it.
Forbidden Forest.
So
Commodore. This. It's like a text
adventure.
It looks like. Yeah, you're just in the center of the screen with the bow and arrow.
Yeah.
And you have some creepy monsters, skulls and beholders, like ghosts and stuff. Yeah, it's like a shooting game, I think, but it has some text too.
Yeah,
this is they have the high score and high score. Yeah, it's probably they have some text, and you're in the center of the screen, and you just shoot monsters, basically. Seems interesting, yeah.
Yeah, are you back with us, Gary? I think he's he's trying to log in and out and get the audio sorted, I think. So the last ones, this is like game vote 5, so this is 5 people that voted. I'm not sure whose this is, to be honest. I think I do know. So, vote 5. 1 second. R-Type.
Yeah, this is a great game, right?
Indeed. And obviously not just popular on the C64.
The sixth, yeah, I just opened up a animation GIF, and it's really, really good port for Commodore, yeah? Really well made.
Yeah, it's a hard game though, right? It is hard. You've got to...
Yeah.
Your eyes have got to be everywhere. But
this is for fan of shoot 'em up, sure.
Yes.
You really need to love shoot 'em up. Enjoy it.
But I mean, it's one of those games, isn't it? It's been ported to that many systems, but I do think, like you said, it looks beautiful on the Commodore 64 R-Type. I think it's a game that you can just pick up and play. It's not the list of games you've got to focus. It can get intense very quickly. Yeah, but it's good fun.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, I think I heard Gary's back.
Yeah, the same old bug again with Discord freezes, so I had to turn my phone off, turn it back on.
Oh, sorry.
Solution, Owen.
Sorry.
Yeah, R-Type is a classic, and on C64,
Yeah.
with our intro music alone and the in-game music, Odds Nails were great fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're just saying that. Obviously, I'll just go back slightly, actually. So we're on game vote 5 now, but we did mention after Raid on Bungling Bay, there was the Pharaoh's Curse that was voted, and again, Forbidden Forest. So that got a second look in as well. And then we were on to game vote 5, which is R-Type, where we're up to now.
Oh, great.
So next... Now, this one I don't know. IK Plus.
Why, you don't know that game? No. International Karate, that ring a bell?
Ah, okay. I'm just going to go and...
No.
I'm going to go and sit in that corner over there and hide now. Of course I know it.
No, they did it.
Well, IK was international. Well, you learn something new every day. There you go.
Yeah.
That could have been my quiz question. So IK is International Karate. Of course it is. Wow. Yeah. So I never played it. Again, goes back to sports games not being my bag. Surprised I did do karate as a kid. So that says something. I had my phase where I was quite obsessed with Karate Kid. I never got past white belt though. So it wasn't for me, I'll put it that way, but I know it is a well-respected game on the system.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest fighters on there, and I know when it comes to fighting games. I'm not the best at fighting games myself, and I'd be honest with you, the first time I played it was on the Commodore Amiga, so it was nice to backtrack to the C64 version later on and give that a look. It's a great game, like, it's one of the best out there, like, fighting-wise.
Yeah, I do tend to do the same thing myself if I discover something on Amiga and then I see that it's on, say, C64 or was ported to something else like Spectrum. I want to go and check that version out and see what that version looked like and played like, definitely. So, we have Turrican. I'm surprised.
Ooh.
I'm surprised Turrican.
I'm surprised only now. Yeah.
But it had to get a
I'm
vote,
surprised it's only now come up, like, only now, like, because Turrican's legendary on the on the C64 and the Amiga version.
100%. And I mean, you posted a video not long about, was it Turrican or Turrican 2 you posted? It was the original, wasn't it?
No, the one I posted was the AGA version they brought out. It was basically a port from the PC to the Amiga 1200. Well, CD32, one or the other.
Yeah, because that looks stunning.
Yeah, that version looks really nice. Like, but you know, I always remember the original version was released myself. Like, that's the one I had to play. But yeah, Turrican on the Com 64. Yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah.
I know some people are a little bit niggle about it because there's no in-game music, but still a classic, like, you know what I mean?
100%. Still well
deserved.
Definitely a classic. And again, I don't own it, unfortunately, but I'll happily pick it up and play it, no problem.
Yeah. I don't own it either on the Commodore 64. All the Amiga, to be honest with you, like, and to buy them, you know, to buy them now, they're quite expensive games to own, like, because obviously it's one everyone wants.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is it's one of the top titles to actually own as a boxed version for sure, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's it for the game challenges, for the game votes, believe it or not. So all I wanted to do now, we'll obviously just go a bit more in depth there, and maybe we can decide on the best community voted game on the Commodore 64, but I think we know what it's going to be, right? But before we do that, I just wanted to highlight our challenge winners. So we have had 2 challenges finish. The first one being Bubble Bobble. That ran from the 1st of November to the 14th. First place with a score of, to get this right, I'm just going to do it in digits, a score of 1878710. And that was Mr. Blue Yak.
Yeah.
That's just... yeah.
And he released some footage of that. That was great.
That was a full gameplay as well, wasn't it?
He went all the way, I think, with that one.
Yeah.
He did.
I watched it on YouTube.
There's one time he made a mistake and he goes, you know, nodding his head and his arms straight up. You know, it's funny.
Yeah, it is funny. His videos are great. Great faith, like. I would call him the Swedish Wizard. That's his nickname.
Yeah, true.
Swedish Wizard.
But then a close second was Bobber74 with 111800. Then yourself, Gary, 1443610. Ryder 256620. Me 249730. And I know we included Retro Pop, but I think he done it on arcade, didn't he? But kind of like an honorary mention for the gameplay that he done anyway. And that was 82030.
How did I get more score than you, Chris?
I don't know.
On this one.
I blame those ghosts and the heart level.
I think Ryder's trying to say, no, I'm the newbie to C64, and you're beating someone that has had it for years. Like,
beating the old school guy.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of salt in the wound there, but here we are. He might beat you on another game, all Ryder. You know what I mean? Maybe a Pac-Man or something like that.
I think he did.
I knew Gary wouldn't accept losing pit stop.
Oh no,
I got him there. I got you there.
You had me there. You be honest with you, when you post that score, I thought, oh my God, I gotta go again. Like, I think I give it my best. I really pushed hard on her. I was on the limit. Like, my hands would I couldn't move my fingers for hours after. I was holding on that bloody joystick going around like.
Oh, that's it. The joystick on pit stop too. Honestly, same thing. My fingers and thumb was aching.
Yeah, I was playing on the Xbox One controller, so I had some advantage there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fair play.
I got a little fun fact for you as well with pit stop too. That came out on the Wii as well, didn't it? As a WiiWare game.
Did it really?
Do you know what? Yeah. It was a couple of Commodore 64 games. I got them on my Wii upstairs.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, that's on there. Look nice on it as well, fair play. Like.
Yeah.
The same game, like it looks really colourful.
I don't mind them doing these modern ports as long as they do it justice. You know, if you're going to call it Pit Stop 2, at least make it look and feel Stop 2.
I think it was just a straight port. I think they were all straight port games, but it was nice to see them on there. You know,
fantastic.
And this was a good few years ago as well. Like, it was in the noughties, 2000s. The Wii was out.
Right. Yeah.
Interesting.
And obviously the next one we done was, I can't even see where I've put it now. How can I even forget it? Pit Stop 2. So that was close, wasn't it? So Gary.
Yeah, Gary wouldn't let me have this one.
Yeah.
Just wouldn't let me.
451. I mean that's good because I'm going to be honest. Like, I was getting similar times, like I'm thinking, wow, I can do this. I'm going to get 5 minutes or something like that. But then just as I thought everything's going well, I can make it, I crash or my car veers off. You know, your car's knackered, it's gone. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just try again. And I'd either forget to go in the pits or my car would have too much damage. And I just think, just keep going. No, exploded. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
And trust me, I did try with that game. I must have went back to it about 5 or 6 times and thought, just one more go. I couldn't even finish it. So, touche to you two. You've done really well with that one.
Yeah, well done, Raider.
Yeah, that was nice. And then the challenge is fun because you really don't, usually these games, you don't have any penalty, any kind of penalty regarding state of the car, when you crash or something. You just know, okay, you lose time, but that's it. And not in this game, this game, if you can explode and go off the tracks as well. So you really need to, there's some kind of challenging there, but this challenge is fun. It's not a bad challenge. So I love this game. Yeah.
I mean, there's even lessons there, isn't there? Because literally what you said is exactly what I done the opposite to. So, really I should have been going around thinking, right, well, hang on. I've been doing probably the best speed of 256 kph here. I reckon it's time to change the tyres. But no, I'm just carry on. It's fine. Ignore it. It's okay. It doesn't matter that it's red.
I think it would have been a bit different story if we had the laps a little bit longer and you were forced to pit. I think that would have opened it up more, and so maybe something to think about next time. Maybe actually have 5 laps there free and have a mandatory pit stop. And everyone's got that second chance then, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Me and Ryder said it. There's certainly challenges that we've done that, in hindsight, maybe we'd have done it differently, or certainly we should go back and do it again at some point. So that's got to happen with more than one of them, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Certainly want to revisit
For sure. And just to touch on the challenge as well, we're there. So, hang on a minute. Okay, so these slides, which I thought were 100% in order, I've just scrolled left and there's the last vote on the last game. So, oops for that. So the last vote, on vote 5, was Ghosts and Goblins. Which is a game I know we've all got an opinion on. My opinion is it's hard as nails.
It is.
Yeah. I'm not sure about the port, but it looks like looks good.
It's a difficult game, but as we all know, Ghosts and Goblins is hard on any port.
Yeah.
It's just known to be a notorious hard game, and but we love it. I mean, we always come back more. The Commodore 64 one. Oh my, like.
But I mean, the graphics, the music, the animation style. Do you know what I mean? The way it scrolls, the way you just like think everything's swishing and boom, enemy comes out the ground and tries to grab you. It's like, okay.
It's absolutely banning game all the way through, and then like you say, you just nailed it. Music, graphics, everything about it. There's an arcade remaster of it on the Commodore 64 as well. Like you can even put the original music on it if you want to, and not listen to the new version. But you can't beat the original, can it? Really, in some respects. I do like the newer one, mate.
Okay, I didn't know that actually. But yeah, so
there's a version.
Sorry for that. Whose ever vote that was on number 5. I actually looked like I missed 2 of your games, so apologies for that. However, so we had R-Type, we had International Karate, Turrican, Ghosts and Goblins was obviously number 4. Can anybody guess what number 5 is for this last vote?
Yeah, and Bubble Bobble again, sir.
You going to put money on that, Gary?
Yeah, 5 Bubble Bobble.
5 Bubble Bobble. Ryder, do you want to put any money on that? It's Bubble Bobble?
I think it's 18.
18. Okay. Shame I didn't put $1 million on this. Yeah, just paying the fine because it's Bubble Bobble.
It is?
Yes.
That's great, innit? So, how many votes a Bubble Bobble had? Is that about 3-4 votes on there?
Yeah, it is. Sorry to say, everybody, but Bubble Bobble is the best community voted C64 game. No question. It got the most votes. It's an amazing. This was not rigged, by the way. I must say, this was not. We didn't pre-discuss the games, did we? These are genuine votes from people of the community, and I think Bubble Bobble's won it hands down.
Rightly so, really. I think my promo out. No, I didn't, but no, it's a classic. I mean, you can't argue with that.
It is.
I'd like to see someone try, but no, you can't argue. Bubble Bobble is.
We won't listen anyway.
It's king of arcade conversions on the Commodore 64, and so.
Exactly. Yeah, it truly is, isn't it? Truly is. I mean, even when I see that cover, it just invokes so many memories. Just that cover alone.
Yeah.
Really does.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if it's a fact. Go on.
No, go on, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say, I read about it. I might be wrong, but if my understanding is correct, the original Bubble Bobble came out in C64, didn't do so well. But when the Hit Squad one came out, it rocketed, apparently. It was like the top selling game for the year.
Okay, I didn't know that.
It was a budget one. Yeah, but that's what I read. So, yeah, a little fun fact for you.
There you go. So I do believe that's it. I'm just going to go to the next slide. That was the C64 Champions post that I should have put there earlier. See, this is why it's not ideal doing podcasts on your phone. But hey, we were mobile. We were on the go at the time. So yeah, congratulations to our C64 champions this month. Obviously, we are going to have 2 more because Uridium and Tapper are still running and still being competed in. So thank you for that. And I just want to say at this point, a big thank you to everybody that took part in the C64 month. I've enjoyed it, definitely. It's been nice to refocus on such a legendary system. It's never going to get old for me. I don't think it will for you neither, Gary. Ryder,
Oh, definitely not.
it's been great introducing you to this system, mate. It's been great seeing you having fun with it and seeing the others having fun with the challenges, and even comments of like, yeah, this took me back to my childhood playing this game. That's what we want to see. That's what the community is about, is reliving those memories and sharing them, right?
Yeah,
Right.
and it's great. I never experienced of this in any computer at all. So I'm a 90s kid, and I got a PC 96 with Windows 95. Back then, just a little bit back there, I was already using computer on the school, but it was also Windows 95.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about Brazil and the scenery, but I didn't live the 80s, right? So I can't really say, but it's really fun and it's really focused on the games, right? And
yeah,
I also asked you about, or I believe I asked you, I'm not sure if I asked Gary, but if you guys use the Commodore other than gaming. I was just wondering that.
Me personally, I would have to say no. Apart from the odd dabble in word processing and the odd dabble in trying to learn BASIC, which did not go well. I managed to print a few things across the screen, but you certainly wouldn't want to play a game I created, because I didn't create any. But to me, that's it's a loss. I do still to this day want to do more with the C64, because it is so much more than a game system. Yeah, loads of great games got ported to it. We know that. As we said, you could. There's no end to them, but it had an amazing sound chip, and it was such a capable computer compared to the others that were being released at the time. So the answer is no, but I want to change that. Before I leave this place, I want to actually at least try and maybe compose some music with a C64, or try and learn BASIC more and do something with that.
Nice.
That would be my goal, definitely. It's one of my C64 goals.
Do a retro slice slogan logo there and some music.
Oh yes, Ryder, I love it. Brilliant.
Yeah, retro slice theme as a Commodore 64, right?
Yes.
The sprites, you could use some sprites there and some music. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the thought. I like it. What about you, Gary? Oh, are you still with us, Gary?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, what about you? Have you done anything else with the C64 other than gaming? Or
I remember playing, doing some graphics and on it. Used to have like a mouse with it. Then was it something cheese? I can't remember the name of the mouse now, but I did have.
Oh,
I did borrow one.
Yes,
that's a good one to look for. No, you know what I mean. No.
Yes, no, that rings a bell. That's bringing back a picture.
Yeah, and I don't know if you remember. I used to have I don't know if all magazines then, but used to get these sheets and used to type it all out on the Commodore 64 and try and get, you type in all the commands and make you create your own games. I've done a bit of that.
Oh wow, okay.
But I was so young then as well. If you had someone on you now had a Com 64 now and they were 20 years older, and that's like they'll blow our minds of stuff they done on, I expect.
Yeah. And can you imagine giving? This is the thing, isn't it? Back then, it was a different setup. It was a different era. It was a different focus. Can you imagine saying to a 12-year-old kid, 13-year-old kid now, right? There's a PC. It's a RTX 8090 with. I mean, I'm not even getting this right, but it's got X amount of RAM, blah blah blah, DDR, whatever. Can you write a program on it for me?
Yeah.
Do you just be like, kind of what are you on about? I'm not a game developer, mate. But it's kind of like that was the encouragement with the C64 and the 8-bit micros, wasn't it? It was the start of computing. It was to get people into computers, not necessarily gaming, but into computers and prepare them for what was coming. I mean, I think every system, whether it be Commodore 64 or not, came with a basic programming manual, how to program on the C64, how to program on your Mac, how to program on your Spectrum. They all came with these basic manuals for you to get involved and for you to have a go, right? And to me, that's what's lost these days. I should go on literally a computer course and pay X amount of money, then how do you do?
Like over 100. I was going to say over 100 pages thick as well, weren't they? You know, C64 basic manual.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. It wasn't light reading.
Yeah. Even the Nintendo as well, because Nintendo was launched as a family computer, right? In '83 in Japan.
Yes.
There was already MSX, if I'm not mistaken. And there was a basic for family computer as well for Nintendo in Japan, and MSX2 also not MSX1. I mean, MSX1 also had MSX basic. So every single computer out there had the basic stuff.
Yeah,
basic computer language to write code.
And I mean, again, just to briefly mention, and I have touched on this, it's not C64 related, so I won't blag on, don't worry. But in a way, that's trying to be brought back. Yeah, I did mention in the group that there's a company called Phoenix Retro Systems, which is trying to do that, bring back the programming side, bring back that involvement. And they've released a computer, which is basically so similar to what we had in the early 80s in design and being different. It utilizes a lot of C64 stuff. I believe it's SID based as well, which is amazing. And it's called, if anybody wants to look it up, Phoenix Retro Systems, and the particular model I'm referring to is called the F256K. You definitely need to check that computer out if you like retro gaming and you want to try and get into the programming side of it and learn in literally a new system as people are learning it, because it's not long been released. So definitely worth looking at. And
I seen I was just going to say I seen the Spectrum equivalent of that. Is there the Spectrum Next?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
I seen that last weekend, and you think it's just a PC? It's not.
No.
It is Spectrum. It's not just an emulator. It's a purposely built.
Yep.
Rebuild of a Spectrum.
To me, it's kind of similar to the C65. But not. I mean, the C65 was always an intent. It was meant to be released. It just didn't, right? I would say the Spectrum Next is what Spectrum could have been. Do you know what I mean? It is the next step. Hence probably the name Spectrum Next. It is the next step forward.
Why should it be next? Yeah. Exactly.
But what can I say? Amazing podcast, guys. Thank you very much. And
I just sent on the chat about the Dante retro dev. Not sure if Gary knew about this, but it seems like he's from Brazil, and he ported Castlevania and Green Barrier to this is Amiga, right?
Hey, that takes us naturally onwards, right? Because we did.
That's the next chapter in the story.
Yeah, sorry, I just got confused there. Sorry.
I did.
A little sneaky preview in, no, like.
Yeah, you set it up.
Yeah, I was just
perfectly.
I'm just smelling Amiga. I was just smelling, feeling the smell of Amiga nearing.
That just to answer the question, that Dante, he is the guy. I swear he is the guy behind these new remasters coming out on Amiga. Yeah, I'm not sure he's done any Commodore 64. That's worth searching. You go into itch.io, type him in, and or look for Green Beret and look for his profile and find out. I might have a look now after this podcast just to see anything else here.
Okay.
No, but thanks for the mention there, buddy. He did look like he obviously really knows his stuff. He's done some cracking ports there, no doubt. And again, it takes us naturally on to people smelling Amiga, because that's what's coming next month, right? To announce that, we said every so often we are going to do a system-focused month. So November, we chose Commodore 64. We're not going to be doing these every month, but it seems natural to go from Commodore 64 to Amiga. So as an announcement to everybody, let's make that public here and now. Retro Slice. December is going to be Amiga focused. So we'd love for everyone to get involved. If you've got an Amiga, show it to us. Again, there's going to be numerous activities, various challenges. There will be another podcast and quiz. So, I'm really looking forward to that and getting involved.
And January, spoiler alert, we are going to do Pong. So all we're going to do is Pong for the entire month. It's going to be Pong month.
Did we have agreements on this in admin, buddy? Or?
I just want to do some experimenting, and this silence was the feedback.
Golden.
Okay, I got it. I got it. This
and in February.
I mean, I don't mind doing a bit of Pong. Yeah, no problem. But I will say
a whole month of Pongs and variation of Pongs.
A month would be too much, definitely. But the multi-cart, which has been released as an extra add-on for the Atari 2600, I'm sure it's got Pong on it, and it comes with the 2 paddles, right? So that's an excuse for me to pick that up. It's only $20.99 for that set.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I was quite surprised. I think if you look on Amazon, I'm sure it's. I'm going to be proved 100% wrong now. Anybody who's listening, if I am a couple of quid off or even a tenner off, I apologise. But it's no more than $39.99. But I'm pretty sure it's $29.99 on Amazon because I only paid £99 for the Atari 2600.
That's a good price, size.
I thought so. No. I was quite surprised. That was Amazon. I know it may have been slightly more expensive elsewhere, but I can't say enough good praise about that system already, and I've not even had it a week yet. So yeah, I mean, we definitely need to do more Atari stuff, right? You know, we all love Commodore, we know that. You know, we got a lot of good Commodore members, but we've got to include the others. I think we do start to stretch it out as a finish off. We get into Amiga month in December, and then who knows? 2024 is open, right? We can do Nintendo, we can do Sega, we can do a Mario speed run. You know, the sky's the limit, right? It's the limit's our imagination in gaming.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, so many different systems, so many different fans of those systems. Why not? And there's that. You know, you don't have to have the original system and enjoy the fun, do you?
No,
all you need is an emulator in the game, and off you go.
Exactly.
Have a crack at it. Now, you know, you like it, you don't. Why not?
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, I'll be honest. Some of the, you know, I haven't participated in the odd challenge either because I haven't got that game, or it's been very much not my type of game. But I try to avoid doing that because, like you just said, you know, anything's worth a try. Yeah, you may try, you may hate it, but until you try it, you don't know. So burnout free. Takedown is my focus tonight after the podcast because I do need to get another better score in on there. I've been having quite a bit of fun with that. And I'm probably going to edge more to Tapper than Uridium tonight. So hopefully, fingers crossed, expect some scores if I beat them. So that's my focus for tonight. What about you two? Have you two got any plans for this evening?
No. Sleeping work, I'm assuming as well. Rider, early start in the morning.
Yeah.
Come home in and maybe have a blast Iridium again or Tappers. Then start focusing on next month. Then I think for me.
Yeah, 100%. And we can start releasing the preview soon. So I reckon we finish off the podcast here. We're up to 2 hours and 6 minutes. So we can have a little private chat afterwards for a few minutes. So thanks everyone for joining in the community challenges this month and getting involved. We're really looking forward to next month. So we hope you do the same. And it's been a good podcast. So thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Bye.